Hi, I'm going to do a video of what I took to Philmont, what worked for me, what didn't work for me. If you have any questions about what you need to take at Philmont, I'd highly recommend you refer to the Philmont Guidebook to Adventure. The list they have in there has everything you need, probably has more than you need. If you follow that list, you won't go wrong. You'll have everything you need to have a successful trek. I deviated from that a little bit. I'll show you what I brought, and you can decide whether any of this makes sense for you, or feel free to leave me any comments if you think I could do better on any of this gear. So let's start out with sleeping. I took with me a Henry Shire's tarp tent double rainbow. This was an excellent tent for me. It weighs about 3 pounds. It's quick to set up, quick to take down. I was typically always the first to have my tent set up and first to have it down because it's so easy. You don't need a ground cloth with it, according to Henry Shire's, but I did take with me this is a space blanket. I took me one like that fit the bottom just right. It kept it clean. It's really, really dirty and dusty out at Philmont. That just helped with that a little bit. Plus, obviously, has the dual use of being a space blanket. Sleeping bag, I have a Western Mountaineering 20-degree bag. It worked great. It probably got down to the 40s. A few nights, kept me nice and warm. It's a very comfortable bag. It's light. It weighs in at about 2 pounds, and did me very good while I was there. For a pad, I took a Thermarest. This is an X-Lite. It's a little tough to blow up, especially at altitude. It takes quite a bit to get that thing blown up, but once you get it, it's an extremely comfortable mattress. It's light. It weighs, I think it's about 14 ounces, and packs really small. A lot of people have a lot of concerns about it getting leaks. I didn't have any problems with leaks while I was there. It stayed intact the whole time and gave me a good night's sleep most nights. Water-wise, our crew took at least 5-liter capacity apiece. We had a couple dry camps. We need to make sure in those dry camps we had plenty of water, and we certainly used every bit of it when we were in those dry camps. I have 2 of the Nalgene. These are the little thinner plastic. They're not the thicker plastic ones. They weigh just a little bit less. I took, for my smellable, to mix my Gatorade in or drink mix in, this Gatorade bottle. Main reason is it fits really well in the front. I have some loops on my ULA circuit backpack, or Catalyst backpack, that they fit into, and it's obviously cheap and it's light. I have my duct tape wrapped around it for wrapping up closing trash bags or any of the repairs or anything needed in camp. I also have a 4-liter dromedary bag, MSR bag. There were times when needed that water. Having 7-liter capacity. We had some dry camps where we were at where we needed every bit of that water. It was hot, it was dry, and to keep from dehydrating, you really had to take in that water constantly, and that really helped. Did have a small plastic bowl. Everybody needs something like that, and a spoon. Probably don't need a long spoon like this. This works great in the freeze-dried pouches when you're backpacking. Don't have a lot of that at Philmont that you have to deal with, but nevertheless, it's a good spoon. And some hot sauce, which is available in the Tooth of Time traders. Really helps a lot of those meals go down. A lot of them just really need something, and I like the hot sauce. So. I did take, I'm a big coffee fan. I've got to have my coffee. I did take this is a GSI Minimalist. This can come out of this homemade Reflectex pouch. I can cook and heat right in that. It's got a good amount of capacity. Certainly you could take a little plastic cup for your coffee. I prefer having that, especially because I did take this small little stove. This is a Espit stove. Use these little Espit tablets. Took a few of those for those times where we want to maybe make coffee on the trail, maybe up at the Tooth of Time or somewhere where we're just not going to bring out the big stoves to make any coffee. And it's a luxury, but one that I really wanted to have. So I did bring a small spoon for stirring the coffee. This is a little pot holder to get the hot coffee off the stove, and then a lighter. Obviously a compass, pretty critical out there. You'll find navigation, obviously very important out there. Everything's not marked the way you want it to be, and compass comes in really handy. Sunglasses, obviously, these are a must-have. Very bright out there. I would never try to go out to Philmont without having a good pair of sunglasses. These are just my regular glasses. I got these Zenni Optical. I think I paid less than $10 for a pair of prescription glasses. They weigh 3 ounces in the case. If you want a pair of throwaway glasses, Zenni Optical, easy place to get them. And if I broke them, no big deal. Didn't take my expensive glasses out there. A small little wallet, good to have some cash with you. There are some backcountry stores that are pretty well stocked, actually amazingly well stocked with a lot of stuff, and you'll definitely want to have some cash with you, get some treats, or to buy any extra gear, anything you need. Bandana, kept that on me, on my person at all times. It's great for cleaning up, wiping up, just all general purpose, keeping clean kind of thing. I had a buff with me. It's a tubular headgear. If you're not familiar with these, buff.com. They are excellent. They're good sun protection. They're great to dip in the creek and put on your head, keep you cool, or put around your neck. Great for keeping the sun off. Lots and lots of uses for that on cool mornings. Use it as a hat. Can't say enough good things about the buff. Chapstick. Never use this at home. Never have any problems with dry lips. But boy, out there, you really need this stuff. It's on the Philmont list. Don't leave without it. It's a critical piece of gear. You'll be sorry if you don't bring that. I did bring with me a Fitbit, a little pedometer to see how many steps and the elevation we climbed. That was pretty neat to have. Headlamp, knife. I know they'll tell you to bring a small knife or don't bring a knife at all. When I'm out in the woods, I just like to have a decent knife. This one is mostly plastic. It's real lightweight. I think it's like 3 ounces maybe, and it's just it's the way I like to camp. So I brought that. Wasn't a problem for me. I keep a little micro light on the end of that in my tent. I hang this in my tent at night, and I have my light. I have my knife with me, and I stick my glasses on there and have it all together. Some personal gear. Brought a little bit of paracord. It was nice when washing clothes, and needed somewhere to hang some gear up. Extra batteries for my headlamp and my micro light. Couple fire starters, not needed. Probably didn't need to take these. There was a fire ban, couldn't start fires anyway, and everything's so dry out there. It's just really not needed. Pack of mini playing cards. Kids played a lot of cards. I probably wouldn't bring the mini playing cards. They're just probably more novelty. Full-size playing cards don't weigh really anymore, and they're sure a lot easier to handle. And then some matches, some waterproof matches. From a personal care standpoint, again, another bandana for drying off. I didn't bring a pack towel and taking a shower. When a few times we got one, I just used the bandana to dry off. That was plenty. I did bring a little bit of my own toilet paper. Didn't use it out there, but sure was glad to know I had it in case we couldn't find it or just needed it. And I just kind of like to have my own. Toothbrush. This is a tube. It's got the toothpaste down here and the toothbrush up here. That worked fine. This is a contact case. I don't have contacts in here. I actually have zinc oxide in here in each of these. If you open these sides up here, I stuck zinc oxide paste in there. Works great for if you start getting a rash. Actually, you can use it as a deodorant. It works really good overnight if you have any kind of rash issues. Bought these at the backcountry store, just sort of with the dryness. My hands got real dry. I had a couple hangnails, and actually my nails were growing enough where I needed to cut them. So bought those in the backcountry at the store. Take a pencil here with some more duct tape, and then this is Leukotape, it's called. It's what I use for blisters. It's an adhesive tape with the zinc oxide and adhesive. Goes over any hot spots, goes over any blisters, and to me it works better than moleskin. Stick it on, it'll stay on the whole time you're at Philmont. It is a super strong adhesive. Body Glide, this stuff, put it on in the morning before I went hiking, just to keep from any chafing or rash issues. Excellent stuff. A little expensive, but I would never hike without it. Mirror and a comb every now and then. You want to take some pictures and things look decent. It's nice to nice to look good, but it helps you feel a lot better once you comb your hair and clean up a little bit. It just does something for the psyche. Contact lenses, I brought disposables. I had my doctor write a prescription for disposable lenses, so I didn't have to deal with all the solutions or cleaning stuff. Just put in a new pair every day. Didn't really have problems with dust or anything. I've heard people say that contacts aren't great at Philmont because of the dryness and the dust. We certainly had a lot of dryness and dust, and never bothered me any. Brought a little sewing kit. This actually came in very handy. I ripped a little bit of the seat of my pants on a tree limb and was able to sew it up. Also, those needles are good for popping blisters if you need to. Little camp soap. I only used that much of it. Not much while we're there. Some medicine, some vitamin I or ibuprofen. Also some what we've affectionately termed Philmont, which is just Sominex, a sleeping aid. Sure to help get a good night's sleep, especially at altitude. It's a little harder to sleep when your body's adjusting to that altitude. So that was nice. Keep all that stuff in a stuff sack. I keep all my coffee stuff in another stuff sack. And then at night for the bear bags, I put this stuff sack, my smellable Nalgene in this bigger bag here, and would help keep all my smellables together. This is a Cuban fiber bag, and it was nice just having one bag to throw in the bear bag and one bag to get out. Made it a whole lot easier for me. Extra Ziplocs, they're on the pack list. Don't go without those. It was nice to be able to pull those out when it was raining and stick different things in it, stuff you might not have thought about or stuff you just want to keep extra dry. Pack cover, obviously a must-have. This is a little day pack. This is a Gossamer Gear day pack. I think it weighs like less than 2 ounces. Use it as a stuff sack for some clothes, and then when we took day hikes, use that. And I would certainly recommend some kind of day pack. It was really helpful when we went on those side hikes. Of course, bringing the Philmont guide. You'll get this passport this year, the 75th anniversary passport. This is kind of a neat deal. When you go to staff camps, they have these stamps that you put in. The kids like these. They tell the elevation, the date you were there. It's just kind of a neat little keepsake that you'll get as you go around. Journal, just to record thoughts, and then our troop did a little trek guide that we had. The maps, they'll give you a map as you go. It's of the whole ranch. In the Tooth of Time Traders and in the backcountry, they sell the maps for one for south, one for north, and one for the central country. I'd highly recommend that you buy one of those. These are some just excellent maps. The GIS department there at Philmont just does a phenomenal job with these, and really hard to go wrong, take the wrong trail with these. They're marked so well and kept so well up to date. Those guys do phenomenal. I debated on bringing a camp chair, but in the end I broke down and brought this camp chair, Camp Time chair. Came from Campmore. They have 2 models. One's a steel leg, one's an aluminum leg. This one weighs just under 1 pound. It was a lot to take, but it was well worth it. I tried just taking a pad on some of the prep trips. It was great for a weekend, but after a few days, you're really going to want a chair like this. And I marked a lot of my stuff with some of my wife's pretty duct tape, just so it was easy to see which one was mine. Did the same thing on my trekking poles. I got these. These are Cascade Mountain Tech poles. They're carbon fiber. I spent like $30 on these at Costco, and they worked great. And they were sure nice to have going up and down particularly down some of those hills. My rain gear, must have. Obviously, and Philmont's going to make sure you walk out of camp with rain gear. They won't let you walk out without it. We did get caught in a rainstorm, actually a hailstorm. Hail completely covered the ground. It was probably in the 40s. It was cold. It was wet. And if you didn't have rain gear, you'd have been in big trouble. These are my camp shoes. These are just some minimalist running shoes, actually super light and nice to have. Get your feet out of your regular hiking shoes or hiking boots at the end of the day. Let them dry off, and just felt good to get them out. For footwear, I wore these. These are Innovate Rocklight 315s. Certainly not going to get into discussion on this video on the merits of boots versus shoes. I'm a trail runner person. I like trail runners. You know, whatever your opinion is, this is what I took. They're light. They were 315 grams, whatever that comes out in ounces. They're super light. They have a good deep tread. I actually wore a significant amount of tread off on the trek, but the grip is great on them. I was very happy with these during the trek. Moving into the clothes, I kept my sleep clothes in this stuff sack. It's got this. This is a Thermarest stuff sack that has this soft material on the inside. Turn it inside out, make a great pillow. What I would do with that was stuff some of my clothes in there and use that at night. Clothes-wise, I brought one pair of pants. You can see they're still nice and dirty with plenty of Philmont dirt on them. These are ex officio pants. One pair is all I needed. I mentioned I ripped them right in the seat there. Did my own little homemade repair job. You can tell I'm not a seamstress, but it worked. And these also zip off into shorts and work fine. I take one short sleeve shirt. This is a icebreaker wool t-shirt. It wicked well. It was cool. Very comfortable. Doesn't smell as bad as the synthetic shirts, and wore that the whole time. On the sunny days, on real sunny days, I'd wear this. This is an ex officio long sleeve shirt. Would wear this, keep the sun off me. It has a big collar and the sleeves to keep the sun off. There were days where we were hiking in the sun most of the day and didn't really want to burn, so I wore that. For socks, hiking 2 pairs of these darn tough merino wool socks. I would just alternate those every day. Sometimes I'd switch them twice if we were hiking a lot and my feet were getting wet, but I could wash a pair, hang them on the outside of my pack, let them dry while I wore the other one, and then alternate back and forth. Underwear, 2 pairs of merino wool underwear. Same thing as the socks. Could wash these, let them hang. They would dry pretty quick out there in that low humidity, hot environment. And again, very comfortable. Even in the hot weather, wool actually will keep you pretty cool. Long underwear, again, IO Merino wool long underwear. There were several mornings I wore that, and then even some evenings. It did get pretty cool on us, even in July and late June. So did wear those, as well as these glove liners here. Sometimes the hands were a little cool, and did wear those. Had this is my Black Rock Gear down hat. Wore that a few times and it was cool, particularly in the mornings, and keep you warm. Wouldn't have to wear it long, probably when I first woke up, maybe for the first 30 minutes or so, and then as soon as that sun peeked out, it would really start warming up. Really recommend a full brim hat. This is a Tilly hat, but whatever you can get that's a full brim. A baseball cap just won't get it. You'll find yourself pretty burnt if you try to use that. This is my insulation here. This is a stoic down little sweater. Probably a little overkill. It probably only got down in the low 40s at most a couple nights, but this works great. Stuffed in this sleeping bag and gives me a down pillow, and it's super light. So it turned out to be a good choice, even though it was probably a little warm. And then sleeping clothes wise, just a pair of synthetic shorts, synthetic shirt, and some socks. For sleeping, Philmont requires you to carry those separate sleeping clothes at night. They're really sticklers about it. Don't try to argue with it. Just do it. I would really recommend that you bring some kind of socks, not to keep warm, but just because your feet are so nasty at the end of the day hiking, and the thought of sticking those in your sleeping bag and getting your sleeping bag that nasty, it just doesn't appeal to me. So you'll you'll wonder how your feet could possibly be so nasty at the end of the day. But put them in those clean socks and stick them in your bag. It did feel a whole lot better. So, and then finally, my pack I'd use inside for my clothes and sleeping bag. This is a trash compactor liner, thick plastic, and that was nice to keep everything dry. Put it on there, then roll it up, and wouldn't worry too much about keeping it dry. And then my pack's the ULA Catalyst, worked perfect. It was a great pack. I love having this mesh on the outside to keep my rain gear in and those things I need right away. And then the water bottle holders on the outside. It worked very well for me. I've got a few carabiners attached to the outside just for hanging my shoes on, hanging whatever gear to dry. Those little mini carabiners were great, and I was pleased with that. So all in all, I was very happy with the gear I took. I think I pretty much used everything. Would make a few minor changes, but overall, I think this is a good setup for Philmont. It all weighed in for crew gear and before water. It weighed in at just under 20 pounds. So probably had the lightest pack there before we started with all the crew gear, and it sure makes life easier when you don't have to carry a 50 or 60 pound pack. So if you have any questions, post them below in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer those. And if you have any suggestions for me, maybe something that you see that would work better for me next time, please let me know. Thanks for watching.